Oh no, oh no. What's up everybody? My name is Elliott, but you can call me the Motory Notary. And remember, where there's smoke, there's fire. But I certainly hope that's not the case with my 2005 Volvo V70R, because when you accelerate in this car, there is a lot of smoke. So today, I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of where that's coming from, and a lot of you had some helpful suggestions of just how to do that. After we determine where the smoke on this smoking gun is coming from, I'm gonna dig into this car's electrical maladies, which seem to be, well, everywhere, and there's a computer module at like every corner of this car, and a lot of the car's problems are centered around that. So hopefully we can get those units out, check their condition, and maybe fix them. We'll see. Either way, we've got a lot of work to do today, so let's dive in. Okay, so the first way that we can diagnose this smoky problem is by doing something called the glove test. And the idea here is to see if we're experiencing any blow-by. So this car is equipped with a PCV system like most modern cars that's supposed to kind of capture that and, well, filter it out and send it back into the system to be burned. And if this car's PCV system is clogged, well, this will help show if that's the case. So you're supposed to remove the oil cap and take your handy dandy rubber glove that everybody has around their house, fit it over the opening here with a rubber band. Oh no, I already ripped it. New glove. Hang on. Okay, same plan, new glove. This glove is smaller though, so we have a problem if the glove inflates. If everything's working great, it should actually suck in a little bit, but hopefully not too much, because I don't want a nylon glove being the end of this engine. So let's start it up and see what it does. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's about as bad as it can be. Wow. Oh yeah, you can see vapors coming out of it.
Yeah, look, you can see the smoke.
This is possibly the most clogged a PCV system has ever been. It's supposed to slightly inflate the glove, and it blew it off. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, a little bit more. Okay, so certainly a symptom of the smoke. Another test, if you're curious if this didn't work, normally you're supposed to be able to pull out this dipstick and observe the same kind of vapor. That is happening, so we are seeing that here. You can't see it on camera really, but it is happening here. This is visibly venting. So we have a very, very clogged PCV system. Let's add this to the list of things that I need to do immediately on this car. Probably not this video though, because I don't have the stuff. But this is good to know, because now we can look at the second thing and see what else that tells me. But this was certainly an unexpected result from that test. Now that was such a fun and interesting test that my uncle, who witnessed that test, now wants to see if his 1989 Corvette will pass the glove test. The problem is it doesn't have a neck on the oil filler thing, so you can't just put the glove on it like we did, but I can hold it on there and we can hopefully determine the same thing. This is fun. Everybody should try the glove test on their car. Now this only has how many 40,000 miles?
41 now.
41,000 miles, 1989 Corvette. I'm personally not expecting blow-by. I'm just gonna hold it hopefully on here. This is very hot. It's sucking in, yeah, from what I can tell. This is getting hotter as we go on.
Well, it started out hot.
Yeah, Volvo, cold. It was, you'd touch it all day long. It is very warm. Oh, it's sucking in, yeah, we're good.
Some in, some out.
That's good.
Yeah, look at that. You can see the valve going up and down. How neat is that?
All right, what a fun experiment. Now, we're gonna head back into the Volvo. Okay, now we're back in with the Volvo. 2 glove tests complete, 1 fail. But the next way you can tell where the smoke is coming from, in my case, is by taking off this intercooler piping and seeing if there's oil on the turbo side of it, which indicates possibly a bad turbo shaft seal, which would be probably the worst case scenario. Now that we know that my PCV valve is so bad, I guess that could cause oil to be in there as well. Either way, I'm gonna pop this pipe off and we're gonna look at it. Something of note is this very funny screwdriver, which has a hilarious handle to head ratio. probably unlike any screwdriver I've ever seen in my life, but this is great for taking off these kind of hose clamps, I hope. It's actually too big, but it's gonna be fine. See, thank goodness for that handle to head ratio. Okay, it's moving around, it's loose. This next one, not as easy, not as pretty to get to, so I'll probably just skip to the part where I get it off. Okay. Okay. All right, moment of truth, and yeah. So, there's oil, I don't know if we can see it in the light here, all up in that. I mean, it's not like deep in there, but it's definitely around the seal. That can mean still a bad turbo shaft seal, or again, I'm kind of hoping that the PCV system is just so dang clogged that it's causing this as well. I guess there's no real telling until we replace the PCV system and then see if that works. But for now, we at least have way more of an idea of where the smoke is coming from, as opposed to when I took it to the dealership, asking them about the smoke, and they said nothing. But now that we have this kind of sorted out, or at least narrowed down, we can move on to this car's next nest of issues, which are its electronics, which are almost all inside the cabin, and 2 of which are underneath the passenger seat. So we're gonna switch gears here, move to the inside, and take, well, an oil-filled tube and exchange it for a silicone-filled computer system. So let's get to the inside of this car and start looking at these electronics and seeing what we can deduce from getting them out. Let's head to the interior. With me, as always, for interior adventures, my buddy Jacob. And I know you love doing interiors so much, which is funny how you're always in town when I'm doing interior projects. Are you ready to rip apart some Volvo interior to get to computers?
No. Interior and electronics are my 2 least favorite things to do on cars.
Yep, too bad. You're here, we're doing it. Let's start taking this car apart. Okay, so Jacob is gathering the tools to take the passenger seat out, but I wanted to show you where the amplifier is and why I do believe that got flooded if this interior did indeed fill with a little bit of water. Let's check this out. So with the seat slid forward here, you can see this guy here, that is the amplifier. And what looks like a shop vac hose is actually part of the HVAC system. This like blows air for the passenger's feet. But the amplifier looks like it can be gotten to without taking the seat out. So we got a lot of interior work to do and not an entirely long time to do it. I'll speed this up for you guys, but I will join back with you when something cool happens. Let's tear it apart.
We're looking for any signs of water damage in here.
Which it looks like it's obviously rusty.
Yeah, there's definitely some rust.
And there.
But it's not so much that it was like sitting in like 2 inches of water. I don't see like a water line pronounced anywhere. So I think it just got wet and then was humid in here.
But enough to possibly damage that amp.
Possibly.
The yaw computer is underneath that
This
hump
little
there.
cross beam here. So we're gonna have to take some carpet. Oh,
That's Velcro?
Velcroed.
Look, it's like they wanted us to
cool.
replace it.
Oh, that's it right there. This is it. So.
Oh, great. This will be easy.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's yank this out and then test these bad boys. And you know what we're going to use to test them? A multimeter. And that's how you say it. 100% Jake, not multimeter.
Multimeter. I kind of like that though.
Multimeter. He says it like altimeter. Anyway, multimeter. It's multiple meters.
All right.
There you go.
Got lucky.
Okay, so obviously this is original and it's got some corrosion.
Yeah.
The connectors look okay.
This you can kind of see there's some white on this one in the very center.
We can clean that. Yeah. Well, cool. So. That's out. Let's. Oh God, a bunch of stuff. Just.
Oh no.
All right. Well,
might need a new one of these.
Okay. Originally, I was like, it's not so bad, but look at this. When you.
So bad.
I don't know if you can see it's snowing right there. Oh, there is some serious corrosion or something in there. That's bad. Yep, that all came out of there.
Is that like a dead
spider?
That's
a big,
look at that.
Yeah.
That's a spider.
That's a pretty sizable spider, or it was at some point.
Yeah. Am I just gonna get like brown recluse or black widowed in there?
See, this is why I have you do the interior work.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh my God, if this thing isn't sensing yaw at this point.
I hate electrical connectors.
You're yawing it. Oh
Why?
No, it looks so corroded.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, there we go.
Oh boy. Yeah, that white, that's not drugs.
This component is vital for vehicle safety.
I'm sure it is. And mine's not working.
Yeah. That
Penny is like fossilized. It's part of the car. This is forensic other people's cars.
Yeah, or at least we're not finding a bunch of like boogers and stuff down here.
That's what this is. This is boogers.
It's just all boogers.
Yeah.
That might be a booger.
Yeah, people are just flicking boogers underneath this seat for years. And so, as if there wasn't enough evidence of there being water, typically none of this would be corroded on the inside of your car. So the water was at least up to there.
I still think because of the way it's like surface
Or
rust,
maybe it was just moist for so
it was
long.
just really moist and humid down there.
Man.
Because if you think about it, sitting outside, like that moisture just cooking up into the bottom of the seat.
Yeah, it's just surface rust. That's what like every used car dealer says.
Yeah, and it's a Volvo. There's enough metal there. You're good for another couple of years.
It should be fine. Okay, time has marched on, our shirts have changed, but our attitudes haven't. Let's tear into these units that we pulled yesterday. Let's look. Jacob's taken off the last screw of the amplifier here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's snowing.
So that's the sign of a bad amplifier.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, this isn't supposed to look like this really at all.
You think I should have been wearing gloves?
Nah, it's just electronic dust. It should be fine. I think you can breathe it, in fact.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's just throw it in the fan, in fact.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is bad, but this isn't the end of the world. Were you able to pop this open as well?
We opened up and looked into it, and it looks fine.
Okay, this looks fine. The thing with the yaw sensor is that on the forums, they say if it's exposed to water whatsoever, it pretty much just goes bad. And the prices are variable on that. I've even seen it from $55 on eBay to $700 on FCP Euro. So I'm gonna try to find a happy medium. I don't think the yaw sensor is like locked to the VIN in any way, but I'm gonna do some more research on that. Now, the next step is to pull the CEM out of this car, and apparently it is going to be a little bit more work than I initially thought, but it's nothing we can't tackle. We just gotta get to it. So let's start taking this thing apart. Apparently we gotta take all of this off, and one of the main instructions was about removing the windshield wipers, but I don't have to do that. That part was already done for me. So it's actually a huge benefit to not having wiper arms. I get to skip a step. Okay, we got the connectors off, and what I'm kind of hoping to see was some corrosion in there, but it looks pretty good. Somebody put a bunch of dielectric grease. There's like a twig on the left side of that one, but I was kind of hoping if this computer is that bad that it'd be all like blue and white crusties everywhere, but it looks okay. Now the next stage of this is all inside the cabin. Of course, it's a two-part process, but we'll do it.
How fun is this going to be to put back in?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Yeah. There we go.
Woo! Okay, well that was a battle, but you can see why. It's like this 90-degree shaped computer. Regardless, I think I'm sending this off to the guy in Canada, which is a fraction of the cost of a new one. So either way. Oh.
It's already been to him.
Oh no. Yeah, this is the guy in Canada. Oh boy. Looks like making a phone call.
Look,
yeah.
Got his thing on it.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. I was thinking, well, we'll just get this out and problem solved.
Well, the good news is if it's under warranty, but I think he only has like a 90-day warranty.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit longer than 90 days.
All right, well, let's get some lunch, let's make some phone calls, and let's see where to go from here. All right, so an update on what's going on. I tested all the fuses, they all tested fine, but the unit obviously still doesn't work. So I called the company and they said the unit's out of warranty. So I need to send this back into them and pay to have it fixed. Not a big deal. It's still about half the cost of having them do it is if they had never seen it before. So that's on the way, or that's in the works. I've got a new yaw sensor on the way. I've got a new PCV kit on the way, but this is chaos. I hate it. Everything's broken. And I think we can fix one thing before this video is over. Let me show you. It's inside the car. So, as much as I love the Spaceball, and I still do love it, it does have one problem. These bushings kind of wear out, or there's a grommet that's supposed to be here. So when you're shifting, it makes this clackety clack sound because the ball itself is slapping against the knob of the shifter. But Scott over at Volvo R Dynamic makes these little grommets that fit in between here and make the seal correct so that the ball moves with the shifter as it should. And because we haven't fixed anything else successfully on this video, I think we can get this done and at least have one win by the end of this. So be sure to look up Scott. I'll have all of his link and stuff in the description below. If you happen to have a Spaceball Volvo and you need the fix, I think all of them do this. I think they all just kind of dissolve. So check it out. I've got a link in the description below. And let's pop this thing on there and hopefully we can stop my clack clack issue. So normally the suggestion is to use a tool for this, but everything on this car is pretty loosey-goosey. So let's just kind of, yep, see, pops right off. That's so cool. I love how the shift pattern is on the actual shift surround. That's really neat. And now you can see my exposed ball, my Spaceball. Apparently you press down and twist to the left on this, comes off somehow. Put that in my pile. And then still no tools. This is great. You just undo these clips. Now there aren't necessarily instructions for this, so this is where we get to figure it out. Oh, look, see, as cool as it is, it's still just a normal shifter under there.
There's half of the old one.
Oh,
shifter.
Yeah. So that's what happens to them, I guess, is they all degrade. And Volvo does not sell this part by itself. You have to buy like the whole new Spaceball assembly, which is like $250, maybe more, whereas Scott sells these for like 10 bucks. So definitely well worth it if you have a Spaceball Volvo. Okay, grommet is on, but Jacob pointed out something. I have coffee all over my Spaceball. Not from me, but that calls for our friend Simple Green. But before we do that, look how nice this movement is. I mean, it's amazing. What a device.
It's the most Swedish thing.
It's so Swedish. Let's Simple Green it. There's our coffee. Remember, it doesn't take much. Oh, look at that. It's melting away. Don't drink coffee and Spaceball. But now you know that you can use Simple Green to clean up your extraordinarily rare Volvo shifter. Actually kind of looks like chewing tobacco. Ugh, I hope it's not that. Okay, new grommet on. Spaceball is Simple Greened. Now we just gotta put it back on and give it the old clack test. Count on. That one's locked. That one's locked. I think we're locked. Then we gotta pop our plate back on here. Okay, now here's the test. Much better. Let's make sure we're seated there. Oh yeah. Zero clack clacking. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it over the AC, but that is apparently what a Spaceball shifter is supposed to feel like and sound like. So huge shout out to Volvo R Design on eBay. Scott, thank you. Be sure to check out his store. If you own one of these cars, this is a must-have. Very cheap, very easy. Check out his store, link in the description below. Finally, we got something done successfully in this video with good news. Now, let's move on to the outside of the car and see what we can wrap up here. Okay then, well, a lot did and didn't happen in this episode. First, the car miserably failed the glove test, which was actually pretty funny, but it was good because it pointed us in the right direction of why the car smokes so much when you give it some throttle. Secondly, we were able to kind of get some of these computer modules out, see how bad the amplifier is, and notice that the yaw sensor has also been submerged in water. Next, we took that CEM module out, which was a total pain, but we discovered that it had already been sent off to be refurbished, but it had failed again. Apparently, it tests bad at the Volvo dealership and everywhere else, so we'll be sending that unit off as well. Lastly, though, we were able to get the Spaceball Shifter Bushing installed, so one thing was successful at least. That was good. But things to look forward to. We've got a bunch of computer modules to repair, a PCV system total overhaul on this car to hopefully solve the smoke issue, and then, well, we'll put a bunch of modules back and fire it up and see what got better. I'm hoping most things. But until then, I think this car is going to be down and apart for a while. So on the next episode, be sure to look out for something that maybe needs a little bit more love, one of these two cars, and definitely not the Volvo, because we're going to be waiting on parts for a little while. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I try to post little previews of episodes there. Like me on Facebook. Join my Facebook group. It's a fun place to share memes, and I'm always in there interacting in the comments. And other than that, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe on this video, and I will see you guys on the next video.
I wore the Nintendo 64 in hopes that we could just unplug, blow out the connectors, put it back in, and it would work, but doesn't seem to be the case today.
Be like, hey, look, this is what the Volvo dealership told me.